Good afternoon, Crimson Tide Nation, and welcome to the 22nd edition of Alabama Crimson Tide Live, right here on Alabama at the Voice of College Football, from yours truly, Jackson Johnson, and my partner in crime, Johnny Burts, as we go over the latest news and notes on the Alabama Crimson Tide and our take on what's going on with the Crimson Tide. And let me tell you something, folks, it's going to be a wild ride, as always, Monday afternoons. How you doing today, good buddy?
Doing well, doing well. Trying to keep from freezing to death. Man, it's cold. You've been outside? It is
Well,
so old.
yeah, I mean, I only went as so much as take the garbage out and take the recycling bins out. I heard my little butt back in. Like
Yeah.
yesterday, there were flurries outside.
Hey, I took Roscoe out this morning and walked him, and he came out and he was all jumpy, got that tail up and curled, and so we go around a couple of blocks, and on the way back, that little tail starting to turn, and you could tell he was like, "It's cold out here." He had had enough.
Agreed.
Yeah, guys, it's cold. Even he knew it.
He's a small dog. He's like, nope.
Hey, 10, 15, 20 degrees. Alabama's pretty cold for us. I mean, we're not acclimated like some of these other places.
Oh, yeah. Because, like, we get sick if we were in the cold, man. It's like, good grief.
Yeah. Everybody
I'm,
laughs at us, but I mean, they need to come down here in July and August when we got the humidity and see who's laughing. They laugh when we can't handle the cold. Let them get down here and get some of that humidity.
oh,
Sweat
man.
a few little drops off the forehead. Things will change.
I'll tell you what's weird, though. We have 4 seasons in all of one day. That's the
Yep.
funny part of this state.
Yeah. It's amazing. But I was good. I was good. Been watching the president and inauguration, and and then we got the game tonight. I mean, it's full, all on board. And that, Martin Luther King Day, been celebrating it. Huntsville, we been celebrating. So yeah, it's a lot going on, man.
Yeah. It was like, yeah, because it's like, oh, no more class, no more teachers dirty. Like, all right, I'm a grown man. I forget.
Yeah. And a lot of places are canceling school. South Alabama's supposed to get some snow.
Yeah.
South Alabama, not north, but south. But mid central to South Alabama, there's a lot of schools that are going to be virtual and all that kind of stuff. So next couple of days. So, but later in the week, I'll be down in Lynette, and it'll start warming up.
There we go. And C Bama is coming in with a roll tide. Roll tide, C Bama. I'll tell you this, though.
Like that hat, see Bama.
There we
Like
go.
that hat.
So do I. But I'll tell you what else is amazing. Becoming a YouTube member for Alabama with the Voice of College Football, where for $2.99 a month, you can become a Crimson Faithful member, where you'll get a loyalty badge next to your name in the comments and in the live chat. You get a custom emoji to use in the live chat and the comments, and you get a member shout out.
And you get a signed autograph picture of the two of us.
There you go. There
Worth the
we go.
deal. That's the deal right there.
There we go. But you know what's better? Becoming a saving disciple. And in return, you get priority reply to comments, and you get access to a monthly hangout with me, Johnny Burts, and Jeffrey at Only Talk Sports. And of course, the big one. You can become a Bear Bryant legend for $9.99 a month. And in return, you can connect on social media with us. And you can give out any content request of any kind. And we will not let rain, nor sleet, nor snow, bad weather, bad internet, nor any bad event of any kind. And we're not going to let tornadoes put a stop to us. We're going to fulfill those content requests for you right here at Alabama College Football.
So bring them on. Bring them on.
Let's go.
No man left behind.
There we go. Well, Johnny, I believe you got a birthday coming up on Valentine's Day. That means one thing. Disputed National Champions College Football's Historical 1990s Reset, written by the voice of college football himself, Mark Rogers, where you will learn about what happened during the 90s, how the decade changed the sport, why the championship results should be questioned, how to correctly think through the snares, and to appreciate the accomplishments of teams that were not recognized as champions. This book provides an in-depth analysis of the changes, controversies, and outcomes that defined a decade of college football. It challenges readers to explore and critically evaluate the decisions that shaped the national championship landscape. Unlock the mysteries of college football's most debated decade. Grab your copy now. There we go. Well, now, we'd like to start the show because, I mean, the title of today's show is The Future is Now, right? So what do we need to do for 2025 and beyond? That's going to be the question there.
I think coaches have a better read on the players. And so I think hopefully this year we'll have a good idea with regard to, identity. Are we a running team? We're going to be a throwing team, or, crab, we're going to be a wing tee, a wishbone, split back veer. What kind of team are we going to be? And that'll come down to, I think, quarterback. And evidently we're pretty happy. I told you, if you don't see a quarterback transferring in, then evidently they're pretty happy with what they've got down there, which is good. And so I would like to see us do a little better job running the football, establishing some sort of a run game, and then playing off the run a little bit. I think this past year was just too much, leaning on Milroe, and we didn't have we didn't have the right offensive personnel to really enhance Milroe. And when teams figured out, got a good rhythm of what we were doing and were able to defend it, I mean, it was just chaos after that. I mean, we had nothing. It's just standing around, who's going to do what, and didn't have those certain individuals be able to step up. I do look forward to the defense. I think defense is going to be a lot better. I don't think we'll have to rely too much on that 3-3-5. I think if we'll stick with a 4-man front, I think secondary is good enough. When you're a 3-3-5, you're just evidently you're not comfortable with what you got deep, okay? Because you're worried about deep balls and things like that, and you're worried about experience in the secondary. But now we've got experience back there. That's one of the strong suits of the defense, and so I think put a little more pressure on the quarterback defensively. A lot of experience, so should be a lot better football team next year.
Yeah, and Carlos Williams has a good question for us. He wants to know who we got starting at quarterback, because, I mean, for right now, I think it's either going to be Ty Simpson or we're going to get Keelan Russell to.
No, I think it'll be Ty or Austin Mack. Or who was the quarterback? Austin Mack, wasn't it?
Well, I think Austin Mack is.
Wouldn't he transfer in from Washington? Big guy.
Let's see. Yeah, he's still at Alabama.
Yeah, it'll be one of those two.
Yeah.
I mean, that Russell kid's going to have to be phenomenal to be. I mean, to throw a freshman. I mean, look at our schedule and throw that guy to the Wolves. I don't know about that. He'd have to be something stinking else, and he may be, but tough right there. So I would say probably Ty Simpson will get the nod. I've always heard really good things. He's paid the price. He's been in there 3 years, so now he's got a year in the system, and players will respect him because he's been there, and so he's the first man up. If it doesn't work for him, then probably now it'll be a toss up between Mac and Keelan.
Yeah, Keelan Russell.
Yeah, be a toss up.
Yeah, but Carlos says that Austin Mack lacks confidence. He likes Ty or Keelan.
Yeah, I've got to look more at Keelan. I got to take some look at offense, high school, maybe some clips there. See, I know you always have the highlight reels and all that kind of stuff, but and then here's the thing too. He's going to transfer in January, or is he already there on campus? Because you and I are going down to watch spring practice, and that's when we'll know, Jack. When we're there watching them in practice, we'll know.
Oh, yeah.
I've coached a lot of good quarterbacks, so I really understand. And once I see them in person, I can lock in. I can see strengths and weaknesses and things of that nature. So I look forward to that. So we'll bring that question back, Carlos.
There we
Definitely.
go. Well, and I think the spring schedule that's going to be announced in the coming weeks or so.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what brings us.
Yeah.
And Jada asked us, how or what would you guys do with the run game next year? What do you think, Johnny?
I'm gonna get away from the one back or the no backs. I'm gonna get away with that. I'm gonna go two backs, and I'm gonna have a two-headed monster back there. Uh, Getting back to a fullback or a tailback or just two halfbacks, two tailbacks. I don't know, but I'm gonna do something different. Just the no backs and the one back set, stuff like that. That's too easy to defend these days. It's just too easy. I mean, the RPO and it's just too easy. You got to have two backs and you can do a lot more and scheme better and make the defense think a little bit more. I would go two backs. I don't know why everybody's going to this, one back, no back stuff. Start making defenses think.
Yeah.
The counter trade, pulling and trapping and doing those kind of things, and lead block and that kind of stuff. We get goal line. First and goal. We're just we're in shotgun and we got one back there. Okay, linebacker. All you got to do, you got two linebackers. One's going to read the quarterback. One's going to read that running back. You got two now. Two linebackers having to deal with three. So me.
Yep.
So I'm gonna start the game pushing the ball with the run game, especially with a new quarterback.
Yeah, because when we utilized the run game, we were winning. Like against Missouri, LSU, we did that against them. We won.
Yeah, but the problem was it was too much dependent upon Jalen running the ball. Now Bam, he's back, and Justice Haynes, he's gone. But we should have done. Bam's a little rock back there. But what we need is somebody we need two things. We need somebody that's going to, I guess, take some pressure off Ryan. Okay, stretch the defense, and then we need two running backs out there that are going to stretch the defense and make those linebackers. The old RPO, it's getting too easy to defend, Jack.
Yeah,
it's just not like it was. Defenses will adapt.
Yeah,
the hurry up, get them tired, get them whatever, swap, get them, catch them while they're substitute and all, different personnel packages. It's all ran its course. Defenses figured it out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They most certainly have.
They have. Exactly.
But I'll tell you this, though.
Yeah.
Somebody decided it's a good idea to schedule us as a homecoming game.
Oh, yeah.
The South Carolina Gamecocks. What are they thinking?
I don't know. But it's got to, I don't know what the thinking is there, but anybody that plays when you're somebody's homecoming opponent, it's kind of an insult, really, kind of an insult. And I don't know why they would want to, that locker room. Little things that you can throw in the locker room and put up little, of course, now they've got little marquee boards up there and they'll blast where they're homecoming. Back in the old days, we just tape a piece of paper up there, but now they got, fluorescent lights and the light show. And, they got all, they got these little seats that massage you when you're sitting in front of your locker. Crazy. But yeah, that's just old school. You don't want to be somebody's homecoming opponent. And why they've scheduled it that way, I have no idea. And if you could pull up South Carolina's schedule and let's see what other options they didn't have. They couldn't choose the Citadel or you know what I'm saying, the Citadel
I can't wait to take a look.
Clemson. Why don't you play them?
Let's look. Here we go.
Vanderbilt, Kentucky.
Well, they got Virginia. Oh, they could have had South Carolina State or let's see. Oh, they could have had Coastal Carolina as their
Yeah,
homecoming.
homecoming, yeah, you can do anything, but they got the off right there, and I go up. I think the early go up to the top at the start of the season. All right, so that's a little early to have homecoming. Although Kentucky, that's about homecoming season. Keep going down at they had a choice between Oklahoma and the Crimson Tide. There we go. Of course, now Coastal Carolina, that's a little late in the season for homecoming. That's too late. So they chose Alabama over the Oklahoma Sooners. There you go.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Coach DeBoer, you got something right there. They chose us over Oklahoma.
Oh yeah. I mean that should be a motivator right there for us.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like this game screams a little bit of. I don't think Roscoe likes that either.
No,
Gee, boy.
he's
Gee,
seeing.
boy.
See, he's reading me. He sees I'm getting jacked up. He's getting jacked up.
There you go.
Roscoe, settle down, buddy.
Oh,
There you go.
well,
We'll hope a train doesn't drive through. You'll hear him again. He gets after trains.
there you go. Well, J-Dob is asking us how we feel about Nick Sheridan. Is he a good coordinator? I don't like him. He's too shaky for me. I believe we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but I know I've talked about it here with Johnny, and I've talked about it with Jeffrey on one of our recent call-in shows a couple weeks back. I'm not. I'm kind of, we'll stick it out with Sheridan, but if Ryan Grubb wants to come back to Alabama, or if it's, I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to listen to Grubb.
Yeah. I hate to throw somebody out in the dust after just one season, just kick them to the street after one season. But bottom line is, from the start of the season to the end of the season, did we get better? And that's subject to great debate. There were points that we looked pretty good, but then there are other points and times, critical times in the games, we did not look very good. The first quarter of the Michigan game was, absolutely, it was mind-boggling. But that's a tough one right there. Looks like if he was going to make a move, I think he had already made it. So it looks like he's going to be around, and this fall it'll be put up or shut up for Sheridan. He's going to have to do something, but this past season was a disaster.
Yeah. But that's the part of having a down season.
Yeah.
The way to go is up.
Well, and the disaster was the ineptitude. In critical points in games, we had no answer. We had no offensive answer. Like I said, was there a single play that we could depend on 3rd and 2 to get us first down? If you're going to stop Alabama, you've always got to have that play. If you're going to stop Alabama, you got to stop this play. Didn't have that. And I don't know if we tried to have that play, but I always want that in my back pocket. Players are confident with it, defense, and then once you have that one play, now you can pull a little surprise, a little reversal of it or something. Just keep adding a little dynamic to it. But if you don't have that one play in your pocket that you can base, and all the players believe in, and I never saw that. Other than what? Let Milroe try to bail us out? No, doesn't work.
Oh, yeah.
So Sheridan, we'll see.
We'll definitely find out and see it.
It's a little late right now. It's end of January, and if you got spring practice coming up, if you don't have an new offense coordinator bringing in, new terminology, which they typically do, sometimes you'll have an offense coordinator come in and just adopt the offense that's already there, and reform. The coach will learn the new offense and not force it on the players, but that requires an offense coordinator that's probably young. And older offense coordinators that have the experience, they're going to go with what has worked for them. So it's a little late in the spring or winter, a little late in the winter to be hiring an offense coordinator. So I'll say he'll be back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, unless somebody's deciding, oh, we're going to leave for the NFL, be on the coaching staff of an NFL team. Because, I
Which could
mean,
happen. I mean, we got some jobs that are still open.
oh, yeah.
Dallas, there's a lot of jobs that are still open, but that's fixing to, you're headed toward draft season. So these professional teams they're fixing to have them. People are going to be signing up. Coaches are going to be signing those contracts.
True.
Biggest one on the block will be Dallas. Who's going to head in Dallas?
Oh, yeah.
If I was Dallas, I'm going to go with Deion Sanders, no doubt.
Well, and Steve says, Double J, go Buckeyes. Well, tonight, the Ohio State Buckeyes are playing the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in tonight's edition of the National Championship, and it is going to be the 9th time, all time, in all of college football that they play one another.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Who
like,
you got, Jack?
I got Ohio State, although I'll be
Hey, let's do the Las Vegas. You got Ohio State, but you going with the spread?
Nah.
9.5, 10 points. You going with that?
Nah, Fighting Irish are beating the spread.
Yeah, that's oh, now that's some locker room chalk talk and whatever for Notre Dame. I don't know. I've been wrong all season, so I'll just be wrong again. I'm gonna lean with the Fighting Irish.
Oh man, it's like don't curse the Fighting Irish. They did nothing to you.
Hey, I'm going with the Catholics. I'm a Catholic, so I'm gonna hang with the Catholics, even though it's Notre Dame and I'm Alabama, and the where all that goes.
I mean, I was raised Catholic. It's like going Notre Dame.
It's gonna be great. It's great because it's gonna be indoors, so fans won't freeze to death like they did in these NFL games this past weekend.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, Lord, they shouldn't be playing football in January, man.
I'm all right with college football in January. I'm like more than married. But just put the national title on a Saturday. Don't put it on Monday night.
Yeah. I mean, just I don't know. These brainiacs, I just want to kick them in the butt.
But my idea,
common sense,
we
man.
can still have the NFL divisional playoff matchups, the Saturday games on Saturday, but just have it on the daytime. Don't no nighttime game. But I mean, I'm all right with flipping between an NFL playoff game and the national title. Like me personally, I don't know how a lot of people feel. Probably like, nah, I don't want to flip between both those games. I want to watch one.
Yeah, well, it comes down to your interest. Which one are you more interested? So, but I think I'll watch. I like probably college football a little better.
There you go.
But you going with the state, and I'm going with the Catholics.
I'll be pulling for those Catholics all the way.
Yeah,
I just can't wait.
But you think Ohio State's going to win?
I just can't wait for them to beat Miami next year in Week 1. I'm so excited. I want to see them dump the holy water on the Hurricanes. I'm just, oh my god.
Yeah, Carson Beck.
Oh yeah, he don't tip.
Oh, Carson. Love pulls him to Miami. You got to go see that girlfriend.
Oh, there you go. But Ohio State, I'll tell you this, it's perfect segue for our next topic because it involves Mr. Caleb Downs. As he commented about how he was asked about whether he actually wanted to leave Alabama. But as a matter of fact, he didn't. And he was asked to reflect on Nick Saban's retirement, and he said, quote, "It was a huge shock. It was a huge shock to me. I didn't see it coming at all. And even when he said it, I was still like, did this really just happen?" But because that was one of the main reasons I went there to Alabama, and it was really difficult time for me. But luckily, he was not the only player that had a difficult time with Saban leaving. 40 total players entered the portal last season, with many of those doing so after Saban's announcement. However, Downs also acknowledged that he gave every opportunity to stay at Alabama under new head coach Kalen DeBoer. Quote, "No, I didn't know right away that I was going to hit the portal. I tried to give every opportunity to stay. I stayed for like an extra 6 days, 5 days, just to fill out the new coaching staff, see who they were going to hire, see if I could stay, because at the time I really didn't want to leave. I wanted to stick to my choice that I made in high school, stay there, and it didn't turn out that way, unquote. Wonderful article written by Bryce Lazenby from Saturday Down South. Um, what was your take like when you heard this piece of news the other day? Like, I'm sad that he did leave Alabama, but I'll tell you this though, I'm glad he didn't go to Auburn, Tennessee, or LSU. That's what I'm thankful for.
Well, he went to well, one, he's an Ohio boy, if I remember, but number two, uh, look at that NIL deal. I think he's what, second highest now, 3.5 million. Double check me on that. But that guy is like second in the NIL, whatever you want to call it, portal, cash dash. But yeah, so money talks. And, Isaiah Bonds, when he left, he said it perfectly. It was the money, it was financial decision. So, I mean, I know the story with him, and he's a quality character. Don't get me wrong. I've watched and read and paid attention to a lot of his interviews and stuff like that. So I don't doubt that. And a good football player. And and I know he came to Alabama to play for Coach Saban and everything. But when Coach Saban left, then it came down to, and they're going to pay me this amount of money for me to go back home close to Ohio. So as much as I mean, I like the words and I like it, but money in today's world, money's driving all this. Money makes the world go round, and it came money, and so he can wrap it up in a nice little package and for whatever, didn't want to leave Alabama, but bottom line is he left Alabama for the money and to get back home. And I hope he would have stayed if Coach Saban would have remained, but that wasn't the case. We don't know. We can all speculate that, but. He left. He went home to get some money.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely have to do some what if moments for Alabama history for future shows, especially during the dead period of no portal news, no recruiting news, no spring practices. We'll definitely have to do that for sure.
Yeah, and I was looking at the portal. Alabama's lost 25 players through the portal.
Yeah,
and gained 8.
Oof.
But you look at who they've lost, it makes sense. I mean, it's not shocking per se. The one we lost that I wish would have stayed would have been Justice Haynes, but he probably, I don't know what the dynamic there with, the number of touches with Bam Miller and both of them, and that's why I would have had them both in the backfield and letting them, run the ball more instead of Jalen Milroe. But that was, the ones that have left kind of. But most of the starters and the guys that we need are still there. And so even though we've lost 23, we've picked up 8. Looks like 8 pretty good ones. Got us another running back out of, Lafayette, the Raging Cajuns. So, and it looks like, kind of a Mark Ingram, Trent Richardson type. So that'll be good. And so the portal, it's interesting. But like I said last week, I wouldn't if a lot of these fans, hey guys, if y'all are sitting out there and you're thinking your seasons, you're gonna have a great season because you're number one in the portal, whatever you think, you got the wrong. You need to rewire the brain on that one, because the portal can be a beast and it can be devastating. Because if you're bringing in a lot of players, you're losing a lot of players. And now you got to merge all these, and you only have, 6 months to merge them all together, all these personalities. So. Feast or famine. Good luck. Flip a coin.
Well, we can always make sure we get those star guys from like the Wake Forests of the world, the North Carolina States, the some of those Big 12 schools, the AAC.
Yeah, they kind of got a little overlooked in the 5-star and the rivals and all this kind of recruitment, and gone in a year or two and proven that hey, they brought a little something to the table that high school you didn't see. So it's an interesting dynamic, but I wouldn't be promoting I'm number one in the portal. That's telling you a lot of players are wanting to leave.
Yeah.
I saw where Ole Miss has got 24 new players from the portal. Yeah. Good luck on that one.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to get overly reliant on the portal because like we saw what happened with Florida State 2024 because that was disastrous for them, and I can't wait to get to Florida State week months from now. That's going to be a fun show because like we'll have some great guests for that week.
Yeah. And then, you know, and the sad thing is, Jack, some of these coaches are going to get hired because of the portal,
Hmm.
but a lot of these coaches are going to get fired because of the portal. You're going to see more and more head coaching. I mean, we used to call it, the hot seat. They even had a website, probably still do, who's on the hot seat,
Oh, yeah.
and coaches on the hot seat. And it's going to be the portal. You think there's going to be a lot of turnover with players? There's going to be a lot of turnovers with coaches.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be. That's what the people want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll tell you one guy that's really adjusted to the portal and everything is Syracuse head coach Fran Brown. He seems to know what's up because, like, 9-3 in his first year at Syracuse, and his second year, I think, is going to be better. I
Well, we'll see. But that portal's like playing blackjack. You know what I'm saying? You hit
yeah.
it. You hit one deal, and the next one, and then you hit the lull, and now you only got a 2 or 3 year window, and I mean you're the portal as a coach. You're playing blackjack, man. You're just counting cards.
Yup.
Yeah.
And we got a hello from our YouTube member, the godfather of the SEC. How are you doing today, good buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Yeah.
There we go. Making an offer that you can't refuse. There we go.
Yeah. There you go. Marlon
Oh, there we go.
Brando.
There we go.
How often are we live? You can answer that, John.
Well, we are live on Crimson Tide Live Mondays at 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Jeffrey and I are live for the Alabama Call-In Show, 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, where we're taking your calls. And we're also live after each post-game show for each Alabama game. That is how often we are live, Carlos. And what time zone are you in? Like, is it like? Because we'll make sure we got the time for you. See, Roscoe's our mascot for Alabama Boys College Football.
Roscoe.
How you feel, man?
Well, he's clawing my leg. Roscoe, do you want a bone?
There you go. He's turning his head. He look.
Do you want a bone? Let me give him a bone, Jack. I'm still listening.
There you go. Here. There you go. Give him that bone. Give him that bone, man. Get that.
Man, if I don't give him that bone, he's gonna start yapping. Now you can shut up, boy. Sorry about that, but I could see it coming.
That's okay, man. That's okay. He's our other star of the show, ain't he?
Yeah. He's the man with the plan.
Yeah, I mean we're the host, but Roscoe's the star right there. But so are you, people in the chat and the subscribers. You are the stars of Alabama Boys College Football. You are what helped make this happen.
Hey Jack, let's show him. We were talking last week. Let's show him Coach Bryant. Let's remember we were talking to a lot of people. I don't know. I'm a little older, as most people can tell. Should have seen me in my prime. Now I'm an old man. But anyway, the clip there with the how Coach
from the
Bryant and Coach Saban are so similar. Yeah, the Iron Bowl interview. Well, you talk about keeping it simple. I'm trying to win the game. I don't have to apologize for who I play. Can you imagine that reporter on the sideline? He wasn't having none of that. You could tell he was ticked.
Oh man, it's like,
and hey, and guys and gals out there in the World Wide Web, he died 3 months later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Auburn 82. He died in January of 83 after he retired. 3 months later, had that heart attack. But Coach Bryant, um, crazy thing, he smoked. And he smoked those Chesterfields, man. And a
Sure.
lot of people don't know, but Coach Bryant would smoke those filterless. You know what I'm talking about, Jack?
Yeah.
Back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. Well, no, back in the 40s, 50s, they didn't put filters on cigarettes. They were filterless. That didn't come around to, I guess, 60s, 70s and stuff like that. But Coach Bryant was smoking those unfiltered, just roll them up Chesterfields. And you can imagine his lungs, man, after
Oh,
all
wow.
those years smoking.
Huh.
I can see,
I remember.
I got pictures of him, Jack. I got my father-in-law,
Oh, wow.
Coach Trimble. We've had pictures of him on the sideline. You can see he's sitting there, got that hat, and you can see that Chesterfield in between his fingers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching some of those highlights when of the Alabama of Bama's greatest games, where it was like I was watching like the 1962 Bama Georgia game and 62 Alabama Miami, and we heard like narrations from Bear Bryant, and he was like what in his late 40s at that time, and it's like he sounds 70. That's why he sounded 70 because those dead gum
All that unfiltered, man, smoking those cigarettes and
nights.
on the sideline. Can you imagine that? The next week I'll get a picture. I got a beautiful picture, and you can see, him right that cigarette right in between his fingers. But unfortunately, he passed away 3 months later, and that was a. And back then, I told you, back then we didn't have instant news. It started just bleeding out on the radio, and then you didn't see really anything about it until that later that night on the 5 o'clock news. But it just started on the radio. I mean, in today's world, it'd have been, on Twitter and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. But we slowly, and everybody was like, and then you start wondering, is that true? Did he die? Because he had just retired.
Yeah.
So it was quick.
He
But yeah, you can see that attitude, boy, in playing those games. Hey, trying to win a game.
No, he didn't do the mess around.
No, everything I do, I'm trying to win the game. I don't have to apologize for who I play.
Oh man, it's like, well, and I always love watching like the '67 Sugar Bowl because it was like hearing him narrate that game. I thought that was pretty cool watching that.
That's one with my father. In-law played in that one, and that was a missing ring Sugar Bowl down in Tulane Stadium. That was a missing ring. They went undefeated, untied, and Nebraska was, supposedly the best team, and they just stumped them 34-6, and didn't get that third. It would have been the three-peat, been the first one to ever do it. Didn't happen. So anyway.
But oh well, there's more one way to skin a cat, as they say.
Yeah. Who's that? The Godfather members watching that game?
Oh yeah.
That Auburn game or that
the Auburn game, Alabama Auburn, 1982.
Yeah, that's when he felt like he lost the team. Remember they lost 2 or 3 close.
Yeah, we lost to Tennessee. We lost to LSU. And we lost to Auburn.
Penn State? Was it Penn State? No,
we won against Penn State.
Yeah, that may have been the one that kind of everybody thought, well, they're going to, and then, but he felt like he had gotten too old.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming that now.
Well, what got us also is that loss to Southern Miss.
Yeah, that was old Reggie Collier. Yeah, that's back when Southern was, they were tough. They were a good program. Well, I'm not saying they're a bad program now, but they were top echelon. They would be the top 10 in Mississippi if Marcus Dupree would have signed there out of high school. They'd have replaced Mississippi State and Ole Miss.
There we go. Well, and the Godfather of the SEC says, I see a lot of the touchdown Alabama crowd in here tonight. Thank you, everyone, and spread the word about our Monday night shows. We need each and every one of you. And Breakaway 34 says, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, click on the notification bell to Alabama, the voice of college football. Show your support for the channel. Become a member. Exclusive emojis, perks, and more. All the best people are here at Alabama Boys College Football. Roll Tide! Thank you so much for telling everybody. We need to beat Texas at the Voice College Football to 4,000 subs. We may not beat them to 3,000, but we're gonna beat Texas at the Voice College Football to 4,000 subs. Because I mean, they may have gotten to the playoffs this year, but we still run the SEC.
Yeah, and you notice too, they're starting to want to tweak at playoff system.
Playoffs.
Yeah, Clemson. I was reading, or not Clemson, but the ACC is thinking about because everybody's the top or whatever 4 conference champs automatically get in, even if they lose the championship game. They win the regular season, but they lose the championship game. And like I'm saying, I think the championship game conference, that bus is fixing to sail on by. But I saw where they were thinking about kind of like doing I don't know what kind of, it's a different format where ACC is looking at, all right, if you win regular season conference champion, all right, you're done. You're in the playoffs. All right, because they're one of the top 4. And then the second, third place team play, okay, for the conference championship game, which means if Clemson wins the outright regular season, they're done. Whoever's second and third. See where I'm going? Virginia Tech or North Carolina. Now they'll play for the conference championship game.
I was hearing about that from our guy Darrell MVP last night on After Dark. I was like, really? The ACC's doing that? And I look it up. It's like, yep, it's true.
Well, they're talking about it. But I mean, I understand what they're trying to do and that kind of stuff, but
it'll get people watching. I mean,
well, but still, I mean, is that the right thing, the smart way to do it? And so you win the regular season, and is that the prize, or is it because Jack, it used to be to win the bowl, the championship game. Alabama and Florida started that years and years ago. When you got, get to the championship game, and that the championship game decides who wins the conference. Now, what are you going to have? Co-champions, regular season champion. They can put a banner up in the stadium, and then now another team can put a conference championship game champion. Mm-hmm. So I got a little white thing, but so anyway, I'm sitting there reading that, and I'm like, come on, man. I mean, how many more times are we going to twist this thing around and try to make it work?
I wonder if the SEC, if they're going to do something like that. Like they see like, oh well, this is working for the ACC. I wonder if we're going to do that with our conference. Like, because I mean, I'm thinking like the Big 12 will probably consider doing something like that as well. Because I mean, like, and I think also with the ACC, they want to make sure they keep Clemson, Florida State, Miami happy.
It's like, the old 1AA Division II. I mean, if you win the regular season championship, you're in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Alabama and Florida playing in that first, because we now you got 20 teams in the conference, whereas used to be just 7, 8, or 9. Now you got 20 teams, you got one East, West, and now boom, North, South, and now we got to have a conference championship. Well, if for this new playoff system to work, you got to get rid of the conference championship.
Yeah.
Why would the regular season winner be forced to play an extra game before going to the playoffs? You win the regular season, that's it.
Yeah, I remember talking with Trevor Trowbridge, the staff writer, Irish Breakdown, the other day, and he was asking me if I'm okay. Like, even though I'm an Alabama man, what do I think about this current system where it's like 18 teams, 16 teams in this conference, that conference, or what would I like to see exactly? And I said, I I kind of want to see it be like the SEC, or we also go back to the Southwest Conference, Big Eight, Big East. I want to see like Penn State, Pittsburgh in the same conference, and like West Virginia, Virginia Tech, Virginia,
Yeah,
Maryland.
regional. Instead of now we got continental. We got the West. We got USC playing in the or UCLA playing in the Atlantic. I mean, think about that. Pacific Coast team playing over in it. It's just they're just throwing darts. They're just throwing darts, and hoping something sticks, man. It's just
well, and
keep it simple.
Yeah, and it was like, and I think what screwed the Pac-12, honestly, was that they thought everybody was like in the 80s or something like that. It's like, oh well, we got regionality and all that. It's like, no, that those days are over for right now. Those days are over. And they thought, oh well, we're gonna get that huge TV contract. It's like, yeah, no. Because maybe like 2023, I just remember where there were people saying, "Oh well, the Pac-12 is going to be fun. The Big 12 screw." It's like, yeah, about that. No, but
then do away with conferences. Just it's just United States. Just throw the no Southeastern Conference, no whatever. You're just a school, and it's all do something like that. But all they're doing right now is making people more mad, more upset, more disconnected.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm purist. I'm traditionalist. I saw no point in any of this. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But just you're trying to please the masses, and you're trying to, now it's like the schools were benefiting, on the back of the players. Now the players are benefiting on the back of the school. I mean, you're getting all this, NIL money. Then, well, how much you going to give University of Alabama? You wouldn't get that NIL money if you weren't playing for us.
Yeah.
So we've switched the model, and now it's going to, get even crazier. And it's got, like I said, it's doomsday. It's going to be a point nobody's going to watch it. Nobody's going to trust it. You can get tired. This guy, played with us last year, and now he's playing for this team. Now he's playing against us, like Isaiah Bonds. There he is, Texas, and yeah. No loyalty. That is what it is.
Well, I will say though, we've got some recruiting news. Got a top quarterback for 2026. Matter of fact, we're in his top 6. He's the one and only Jared Curtis. And Brady Smoot, shout out to him, covering this on Touchdown Alabama. The other 5 schools are Georgia, Oregon, Auburn, South Carolina, Ohio State. Go away, Gecko Lizard. And he is from Nashville, Tennessee. He is 6'4", 226 pounds. He was committed to Georgia, but he still got him in the midst. And it says that Alabama has always been a school that he likes. His relationship with the Crimson Tide stems back to when Nick Saban was at the helm.
Well, who's gonna pony up the most money? And I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. High school, I'm still not too worried about high school recruits. I'm on wide freshman. Blah, blah, I'm gonna find somebody who can play immediately. I'm gonna fill my need in the portal.
I want
go with experience and veterans.
I like getting everybody.
Yeah, get everybody. I wish you could, but you ain't got enough money.
Well, that's true.
But some billionaire is going to fund Texas or Texas A&M, or billionaire fund Oregon State or Oregon. So who knows? I mean, it's outbid them.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm a Debbie Downer.
That's all right. But we'll take a look at Mr. Jared Curtis's stats. Let's take a look at him, shall we? Well, we got 247 Sports. Well, 4-star, 5-star. Andrew Ivins, the director of scouting, has got some really nice things to say about him. He says a big arm quarterback prospect with some moxie, owns a favorable build, having measured roughly 6'3", 215 pounds as a ninth grader. Started football career off playing running back before getting a look under center. Instantly found success at his new position, earning Mr. Football runner-up honors in Tennessee after a freshman campaign in which he won 10 games and totaled just over 250,000 yards of offense. Not afraid to dial up the deep ball. Tends to connect on plenty of vertical shots. Also excels at hitting timing-based breaking routes over the middle. Shouldn't be classified as a true dual threat talent, but can move up the chains with his legs and work off script when the pocket collapses. Camp footage shows both pace and touch. Must keep developing and learn how to read the complex defense he will face at the next level, but looks like one of the top signal callers early on in the 2026 cycle, likely to find success in a variety of different offensive systems, given his well-rounded skill set. It says he led Nashville Christian to the semifinals of Tennessee's Division II-A playoffs, posting 6-7 record, and he had 56% completion
Is
percentage.
that so? Are they? I'm not sure Tennessee's like Alabama. Can private schools play in public school playoffs? In Alabama, private schools play in the public school system, not in Mississippi. What about Tennessee? So he's in a private school, but are they still allowed to play public schools?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's take a look at.
You know what I'm saying, Jack. Some states, if you're private school, you don't get to play in public school playoffs classification. I mean, you're totally your own entity. Alabama's got the little, one of the few states that allows private schools to cross over and play in the public schools and make the playoffs and stuff like that. But I'm not sure Mississippi. I don't think Mississippi allows that. I know at one time they did not. If you were private school, you stayed private school. You didn't cross over and play in public schools. So.
Well, and here's a comparison he's got from On3. Would you like to see the comparison?
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford. Jared Curtis's top shelf arm talent and ability, and this according to On3, his top shelf arm talent and ability to make plays outside of structure remind us of Matthew Stafford at the same stage. Curtis has a bigger frame than Stafford, while Stafford was more proven against top competition, playing at a high level of Texas high school football.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, because looking back at somebody like Matthew Stafford, it's something I really look at was that 2009 Lions-Browns game. I mean, I know that's a game that not a lot of people are really thinking about, but the way he was just coming back, just finding ways to win. Matthew Stafford, he's the guy you want at quarterback in the fourth quarter. He will lead you to victory.
Yeah.
I bet we can get something like that with Jared Curtis.
We'll find out. Well,
oh yeah, I can't wait to get.
We got Keelan, so maybe we can make some noise with this guy.
I mean, the more the merrier. That's the way I look at it.
Did you watch that Alabama basketball, Kentucky?
Oh yeah, I'm glad you mentioned a little bit about Alabama basketball because I'm going to tell you right now, we had a good week. Well, it's been a mixed bag, so to speak. We lost to Ole Miss, but we won against Kentucky, and it's Kentucky's first loss to a ranked team in college basketball, I believe.
Yeah, it was a good game. I watched it off and on. More off than on, but I did watch. And Alabama's one of those teams. Alabama struggles if they start standing around, and then whoever's it's kind of like park and rec. Whoever's got the ball dribbles and tries to create something and that kind of stuff. And then when you live off the three, you die by the three. And so as long as Alabama's got movement, and as long as they're fairly consistent with the 3-pointer because they shoot a lot of them, then they've got a chance. But those slow nights and off nights. I mean, look at their 64 points against Ole Miss, not very good, and
Yeah.
probably not very inspired. But
Well, here's the
that's
talent right
struggle
there.
with basketball. There's so many games, baseball. There's so many games. It's hard to keep that intensity up night after night after night. So, but it was a good game. But I tell you what, Jack, it's getting more NBA. I mean, these refs, they're not calling stuff. I mean, they got their elbows shoving up their back, and I saw walks. I mean, galore, and it's starting to get a little brutal out there.
Oh,
I'll tell you one thing they're going to have to do, in my opinion, is take away that 3-point line, because I'm seeing them starting to jack it up. I mean, almost half court, and just take it away, and then crap, if you want to shoot it way out there, I mean, your chance of making it are a lot less than trying to get inside. So, but now they've mastered the 3-point line. In the old days, it served its purpose, but not anymore. But it's feast or famine. If they're hot, they're hot. If they're not, they're
like that Jerry Reed song. When you're hot, you're hot. When you're not,
when
you're
you're
not.
you're not. Yeah,
There you go.
there you go.
Man.
So we'll see what happens. But basketball's a long grind.
So I'm looking at the offensive rebounds. We only have 4, and we had 3 steals. That's a bad night against Ole Miss right there.
Yeah, that is bad. I mean, 4. I mean, are you kidding me? That's when you're not hammering the boards, man.
Good.
I bet your coach wasn't too proud about that. 4? You kidding me?
Good grief.
Yeah. So got to play inspired. And I mean, hey, if the starters don't want to do it, if they're not going to put it out, then I'll go to the bench. And if we're going to lose, I'll lose with guys that are going to bust their little butt while they got their, I'll get the Minuteman. You know who the Minuteman is?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the Minuteman?
Man. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
I'll get him to play for me. The Minuteman's that guy on the end of the bench. When there's a minute left to go in the game, whether you're up 20 or down 20, coach says, hey, Minuteman.
There you go.
I mean, if we're going to slop it up, I'll get the Minuteman in there and let him get some playing time. He'll probably hustle more than the starters.
Well, they got more rebounds against Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, they were really getting after him. Of course, that's more elite, I guess, high-profile game.
Man, we can't steal to save our lives. Good grief. This is bad.
Yeah, well, and if it looks close, I mean, they're I mean, it's the refereeing is just so. I mean, it's all over the place. They need to clean the game up a little bit because it's starting to get ridiculous. I mean, I'm watching them walk, and oh gosh, just unbelievable. The hands and then the arm in the back, and just so aggressive, and nobody's blowing a whistle. I mean, clean it up, make them play with their feet instead of just leaning and hugging all over somebody, and hands and pushing and all that. Make them play with their feet. Get in position.
Agreed. But we got the top 25 today in college basketball.
I'll say Alabama's around 7.
I think we're 4.
No. After that Ole Miss loss? No.
No, I think it's more about that Kentucky win.
Okay.
That's what they're really impressed by. And I think, honestly, they're trying to get us like a number 1, number 2 matchup between Alabama and Auburn. Because, like, looky here. We got this article from Bleacher Report, and Auburn's number 1, Duke's number 2, Iowa State's number 3, and Alabama is number 4. Could we see a number 1, number 2 matchup between Alabama, Auburn, in college basketball? I don't think that's ever happened in college basketball. Like, I mean, has that happened in your lifetime, Johnny?
No.
I didn't think so.
No. I mean, there's times when Auburn's been number 1 more so than Alabama, but I think Alabama is rarely, maybe once or twice, has ever been regular season ranked number 1. I think they had an opportunity earlier this year, but how that goes. But no, no. If they can make it, but I mean, they're not going to play till the end of February. They're going to play kind of end of February, 1st of March.
Yeah, they're gonna play. Yeah, the first match would be the day after Valentine's Day. So that's gonna be on the second day of your birth week,
Yeah,
and and the other matchup would be on March 8th, 1
yeah,
p.m. on ESPN.
yeah. So
Hopefully
and
they can.
it's a long way away, and there's so many good SEC teams. I mean, so many good ones.
Well, I'll say this though. I'll tell you who I'm hoping is calling the game. I want to see if Dick Vitale will call the game because I know he's coming back this Saturday to call Duke Wake Forest, and I'm glad to see he's doing better and he's recovering from cancer. So I mean, it would be cool to see him call Alabama Auburn basketball. That would be
Yeah,
cool.
I can hear him now. He'll be, I never would have thought this would ever happen, baby. Can you imagine Alabama Auburn two football schools, and hey, we got them in the baby.
There we go. It's like, oh, this is awesome college
Never thought
basketball.
I'd leave to see the day, baby.
Love
It's so
it.
unbelievable. It's the greatest thing.
Yeah, it's just like I really hope ESPN can just be like, hey, CBS Turner Sports Network, we can let you borrow Dick Vitale, let him call March Madness games, like because like what because like honestly they should do that because like they did that with Craig Sager for the 2016 NBA Finals. I feel like that's fair with Dick Vitale because like, I don't know how long Dick Vitale is going to be calling college basketball. Honestly,
Yeah, yeah.
that
And while he still has his little, rocks up in the head before, you know, hopefully it doesn't. But for some, sometimes it starts getting a little of the memory and all that kind of stuff. Some are able to maintain it through their lives, but some people they start,
there we
a
go.
thought process. So anyway,
All
see.
right, Johnny. All right, Johnny. What are you and Roscoe have going on this week? What magic are you
Oh,
cooking?
we're surviving the cold, and then Roscoe, say hello to everybody. Hello, everybody. Um, we're surviving the cold, and then we'll hopefully be able to teach some youngins, teach them a little bit later
There
on
you
this
go.
week, and then back to it. Watch a little football here in a minute.
There you go, man. Let less
Roscoe.
than less 30 minutes. Any other stuff you got going on? Like any products you want to tell the people about?
No, no, good to go. I'm in the I'm in the grind, the January teacher grind.
There you go, man.
Roscoe, you tell him hello. Say hello, hello, hello. Tell Jack hello. See if he'll raise his ears on you, Jack.
What's up, Roscoe?
A little louder.
Oh, oh, Roscoe. Oh.
Anyway, go forth. But all right, man, we'll get back at it. We'll see what the world's going to bring us the next week.
That's for sure. Johnny and I will be back next Monday, but first, you can also check out what I've got going on Jackson Johnson 979, where I'm 106 subs away from the magic number 500. On Jackson Johnson 979, where I've not only got the buzzer beater with Will and D, I've got the college football pits analysis show and the final whistle with Austin Williams from Sports Talk with Austin, including tonight's edition of the final whistle, where we will be going over our take on the national title. And of course, you can also check out my latest episode of the Jackson with Trevor Trowbridge, where we discussed quite a lot about the Notre Dame path to the playoffs. And we talked a little bit about whether we'll see them join a conference in the future and much, much more. And also, Thursday night, Jeffrey at Only Talk Sports and I will take your calls on the 16th edition of the Alabama Call-In Show right here on Alabama, the voice of college football. And of course, for more updates on what magic is cooking on Alabama with the boys college football and on the Jacksonian, check me out on JacksonBOCFB on /Twitter and on Instagram and Threads at JacksonJohnson543908. And with that being said, we wish y'all a happy Monday night. And let's go Crimson Tide and roll Tide. Like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss no video whatsoever. And we'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.
I don't guess you can hear the train because Roscoe's starting to bark.
There you go, man. There you go, Roscoe.
All right, man.
See you later, everybody.
What